I'm going to call the regular city council meeting for the city of Ashtabula to order. Today is Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. At this time, if we could please stand for a prayer and a pledge and a moment of silence, if you would remain standing for a few minutes. Heavenly Father, we ask you to let your inspiration precede this council's actions, and all of us present here today, and your assistance further us, so that in every word and work of ours may take its beginning from you, and so begun may through you reach its completion. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if we would stay standing for a moment of silence, usually we recognize former city employees or city people who have been tied to this city. Tonight, and on occasion, we have recognized other individuals. And tonight, I think we would just like to take a moment and recognize Dr. Wong, who has passed away recently. His generosity with the hospital has been recently published, donating millions of dollars to the hospital and so forth. But more importantly, I think it said over 5,000 or 6,000 people have come to Ashtabula with Dr. Wong's assistance. And so if we could just take a moment to remember his kindness to our city and his contribution to our city. Thank you. Mrs. Bergen, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Holman?
Present.
Mrs. Mills?
Here.
Mrs. DiGiacomo?
Here.
Mrs. Foglio?
Here.
Mr. Guerrero?
Here.
Mr. Simeon?
Here.
Mr. Roskovich?
Here.
Mr. Timonier?
Here.
Ms. Cooper?
Here.
Mrs. Augustin?
Here.
Thank you. We have no one absent. We are meeting the requirements of the Sunshine Law this evening. There has been no request for an executive session. Seeing none, we will move on with the approval of our minutes.
December 18, 2023, regular council meeting was called to order at 7 p.m. by Council President Roskovich. Mr. Guerrero offered the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance was recited. Members present were Mr. Roskovich, Mr. Simeon, Mrs. Foglio, Mr. Guerrero, Ms. Holman, Mrs. Mills, and Mrs. DiGiacomo. Officers present were City Manager Timonier, City Solicitor Cooper, and Interim Clerk of Council Bergen.
May I have a motion to waive the reading of the minutes in their entirety?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Foglio and a second by Mrs. Mills. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will waive the reading of the minutes by a 7-0 vote. Thank you. All right. For administrative reports, City Council, any City Council committees or reports?
I don't have a report,
No.
but I do want to remind that the Parks Board meeting will be tomorrow.
This is for, we're adding ordinances.
Oh,
That's okay.
is that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mr. President,
Yeah.
I would like to request an ordinance appointing Ashley Bell as Clerk of Council for the City of Ashtabula, Ohio, for a 5-year period commencing on January 8th, 2024, and authorizing a written contract of employment.
You need a second?
Yes, we do.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Foglio and a second by Mrs. DiGiacomo. Is there any discussion?
So what I brought up earlier, I think maybe we need to do a little better job of communicating, which I'm willing to take a lot of responsibility for
Yeah.
not knowing the computer part of this, but
Yeah.
I said I was totally in the dark until I got here.
And I understand, and that's unfortunate, Mr. Guerrero, because the way this usually happens is a committee, well, we only hire 2 people, but
Right,
in the past, what has happened is a committee will go out and interview candidates, and then they will bring a name to council with a contract, and then council at that time, if they request an executive session, or if some concerns, then, otherwise, then council votes on it that night. I think what caused the blip, or whatever we want to call it here, is last week, we had the executive session.
Correct.
That was an unusual, we usually don't do that. And it was something out of the ordinary, and I think I think then we assumed after that the process went on, but you're correct. There was maybe some communication that should have occurred, or we should have went back to our normal procedure, but I appreciate your concerns, Mr. Guerrero. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will add that to our agenda by a 7-0 vote. The city manager, do you have items for us this evening?
I do, Mr. President. Thank you. First, I would like an ordinance to enter into an agreement with ODOT for the purpose of making improvements to State Route 84 and State Route 531 roadways in the amount not to exceed $845,867.40 for the local public authority share. That's the local let project. This project will be paid in part by the Federal Highway Administration and the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Mr. President, I move on the manager's recommendation.
Second.
Mrs. Foglio moves and Mrs. DeGiacomo seconds. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
or Mr. Manager, so if this is our part, what's the total cost of the project?
I was trying to look that up. I did not see a total cost of the project. So typically we pay 20% of the project, and then we also pay 100% of any portion of the project that is full depth repair or curb ramps. Every intersection we have to do the ADA curb ramps. That's 100% our portion of the project. If there is any kind of drainage issues or things like that, those are all portions that are 100% our cost. I will go back to them and try to get a total cost of the project, but with this stretch being all of 531 that runs through the city, and then this portion of State Route 84, it's a big project. Yeah.
Yeah, if we're paying 20%, and you're talking a couple $1 million, probably
Well, right,
north
but
of $3 million, probably.
But again, keep in mind, in that estimate of 845 includes those portions that we would pay 100% for.
For it, yeah.
So, curb ramps alone are probably over $100,000, I would imagine, in that many sections of the city.
Still quite a bit.
Mhm.
And again, this is made possible because we have a paving levy that is allowing us to do this, and has allowed us to do it last year with West Avenue and other streets. So hopefully that will continue to be the way the voters will continue to say that we can continue to do projects like that. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will add that to our agenda by a 7-0 vote.
Next, I would like an ordinance for authorization to enter into a partnership with the County of Ashtabula to file an application with the Ohio Development Services Agency to apply for CHIP grant funds.
Moved on the manager's recommendation.
Second.
Ms. Holman moves and Mrs. DeGiacomo seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will add that to our agenda by a 7-0 vote.
And lastly, I'd like an ordinance to execute change order number 1 with Eclipse Company of Chagrin Falls, Ohio, for certain additions and deletions to the Highland Beach Storm Sewer Outfall Project in the amount of a deletion of $6,042.87 to the project cost.
Mr. President, I move on the manager's recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Foglio, second by Mr. Guerrero. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President? I'd just like to say it looks really nice down there, really nice.
Yeah,
Cleaned up
It
well.
does.
It was a nice job.
yeah. I drove by there, yeah. I live by there.
Mr.
It does, it
President?
looks good, yeah.
So where does that 6,000, where does that go back into?
Just stays into PI funds.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will add that to our agenda by a 7-0 vote.
I forgot to mention this in pre-council, but there was one other item on your agenda under my report. I would like a voice vote to authorize me to sign an economic development transfer form. We've done several of these in the past here. This would be from, I wish I would have seen the store before it closed, Angry Egg LLC to 4641 Main Avenue LLC. This is 4641 Main Avenue is the Coscapelli building, former Coscapelli building. So this is the transfer of their liquor permit to the city of Ashtabula and to the former Coscapelli, so that they can get ready to open up.
Is that on our agenda anywhere, Mr.
It is. It's under my report.
Oh, okay. On the pack, all right, thank you. Thank you.
So just a reminder, the city right now is beyond our quota for liquor permits, and this is why companies that are needing extra ones have to purchase them from outside the county and then bring them into the county. In order to do that, this is a form that we have to sign allowing for that transfer.
When will we do that, at the end? Are you just telling us?
I just,
about-
yeah, typically I've
need
just
any
asked.
action?
No, I've just needed a voice vote of council to, just so that it basically says I ran it by you.
Okay, so we could do that, we could do that now.
Actually, if you could do a voice vote on it now.
Yeah, and then this way
then-
we'll
Yep.
remember. So we will, I'm sorry.
I would just need a voice vote now. I don't need,
Okay.
I don't need anything else later. No ordinance, no nothing, just a voice vote on this.
I'll say all in favor of transferring the, what's it called, liquor permit? Not a liquor permit, is it? It's a, what'd you call it?
It's just authorization to sign the economic development transfer form.
Okay, from the Angry Egg, I wouldn't eat breakfast there, I don't think, to the Casa Capelli, the former Casa Capelli building. All in favor of doing so?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So you have that by a 7-0 vote, Mister.
Thank you.
Any idea when they're gonna open?
I don't. They've been doing a lot of work there, but
just
we
curious.
have not had any communication yet on when they're gonna open. So just a couple other announcements. I know everybody's probably working on getting their Christmas decorations down and getting things back to normal. If anyone does have live Christmas trees out there, we will be picking those up curbside starting now through January 12th. So just put your tree out as crews see them. As we roll by, we will be picking those up. We have started our third shift as of last night. So third shift runs from 11 p.m. through 7 a.m. and then 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. as our first shift. So don't be surprised if you see city trucks out there or picking up these trees during the middle of the night. They will be on this shift now until winter is over, or till we pull the guys off that shift. And then lastly, our health department has been in the midst of moving to the former Gleckler building. We've got almost everything down there now. They do intend to open back up to the public tomorrow. Still having some technology things installed, having phones switched over. So hopefully that will all be up and running tomorrow. But the building itself will be open for the residents to, if they need services, to stop in tomorrow. Mr. President, that's all I have for my report.
Very good. And the health department is moving, and city council is not far behind, I don't believe, maybe in a month or two. So, maybe at our next council meeting, everybody bring a screwdriver, you could take your picture off the wall, and we'll walk it down the street, do you think? I don't know. Anything else for the manager? I'm sorry.
I have something. The traffic flasher beacon at the corner of Columbus Avenue and Harmon. Within the last 2 months, we've had 2 really bad accidents there. The first one, I think, is the reason why the light's not on in the first place. And we had one right before Christmas.
Okay.
And I was out there looking, it looks like, and I didn't use a protractor, so, give me a little rope here, but Columbus Avenue has about a 130-degree angle curve at that north end. And there's been a lot of wrecks there over the years, even with the light. And we were talking about speed as being part of the problem. I think with that caution light there, it does slow people down a little bit. I think we need to get that light back up and running, or someone's gonna get killed, and that's not good.
I'll check on that, but I believe you're right that some of the equipment was damaged during the accident. So I'll check and see what the status is of that.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President?
Yeah, thank you,
So-
Mr. Guerrero.
I had a constituent contact me on 58th and Adams. I'm sure you remember when there was that tragic accident. They had to, so speeding is also a problem speeding is a problem everywhere in the city, it seems to be, but they wondered if a solar stop sign, if that would be something that we could do.
Typically, you don't put those flashing stop signs in neighborhoods because then the complaint will be, this thing flashes in my window all night long. I think we have, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's stop signs on both sides of the road out there, in both directions. I'd have to go out there and verify, but that's typically the reason you don't put those flashing signs in neighborhoods.
Thank you, Ms. Haynes. Anything else? Any other questions for the manager? His report? Thank you, Mr. Timonier. Ms. Cooper?
I have no report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. Ms. Augustine, Mrs. Augustine?
I have no report, Mr. President.
Getting off to a good start here this year. And Mrs. Bergen?
I do not have a report.
Thank you, Mrs. Bergen. Council committees will be getting back to work, I imagine. So the community development, economic development, I think this date is wrong. January 9th is wrong.
No, that is correct.
Oh, is it?
Because we had scheduled our guest.
Oh, okay, so that is
before
correct.
We changed
All
the
right.
date and time. That is correct. And then the Parks Board meeting is meeting tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. And I had a question for the manager. Will they be able to get in the building okay?
I'm sorry, ask that one more time. What, for what?
For
that meeting?
tomorrow night at 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it feels like sometimes the place is on such lockdown that getting in and out is not easy after a certain hour.
Well, if I'm not told about the meetings, yes, it is difficult because I don't set the door locks.
Okay, so that is the correct date then. Finance and personnel,
We're going to cancel the meeting for January because I'm not going to be here, so we'll meet on February 16th at 8:30 a.m.
okay, that'll be canceled. Public Works,
Yes, we have a meeting, will be Tuesday, January 23rd at 8:30 a.m.
okay. And Safety Forces is scheduled to meet January 8th at 8:45. As of now, we'll try to schedule that meeting. We'll see if we get an agenda, but if not, I will let you know. But as of now, we'll plan on having that meeting for Monday morning. Planning Commission and the Historic Preservation Committee, I haven't heard any, no meetings have been scheduled as of yet, I haven't heard of, so when they do come, I will let you know. All right,
Mr.
yes.
President, it's not a normal committee meeting, but the ad hoc committee exploring racism as a public health crisis will be meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the pre-council room.
Upstairs.
They just,
Oh, no,
no,
over
just
here.
moved it down here.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. What time is that again? Miss?
6
6
p.m.
o'clock, thank you. So the ad hoc committee will meet 6 o'clock tomorrow night in the pre-council. All right, very
So
good.
so just so you know, the Parks and Rec is there right before you.
Parks and Rec usually meets out here.
Oh, they do? I thought you said out here there was gonna be someone else.
No.
No?
Yeah.
I'm just
I
hallucinating.
think Parks and Rec.
It's because of the new diet, it's okay.
All right, very good. Okay, so anyone in the audience who would like to comment on tonight's legislations, we have these items, the ordinance approving the paving of Route 531 and Route 84. And then we have an ordinance repealing payroll ordinance. And then we have an ordinance replacing that with a new payroll ordinance. And then we have an ordinance allowing the city manager to apply for CHIP funds. An ordinance authorizing the purchase of Clariflox. An ordinance authorizing the purchase of sodium aluminate. And an ordinance to appoint Ashley Bell as clerk of council. Would anybody in the audience like to comment on any of those ordinances? Okay, seeing no one, would you read us, Mrs. Bergen, would you read us tonight's legislation?
Yes. Ordinance number 2024-01, a final ordinance to participate with the Ohio Department of Transportation to make improvements to portions of State Route 531 and State Route 84. Ordinance number 2024-02, an ordinance repealing in its entirety payroll ordinance number 2023-172 for the purpose of modifying the compensation for the position of clerk of council. Ordinance number 2024-03, an ordinance authorizing compensation, salaries, and wages to employees of the City of Ashtabula and the Ashtabula City Health District. Ordinance number 2024-04, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a partnership with the County of Ashtabula to file an application with the Ohio Development Services Agency to apply for Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program CHIP grant funds. Ordinance number 2024-05, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the purchase of Clariflox Polydine Inc. for the city of Ashtabula in an amount not to exceed $75,000. Ordinance number 2024-06, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the purchase of sodium aluminate with USA LCO for the city of Ashtabula in an amount not to exceed $90,000. Ordinance number 2024-07, an ordinance appointing Ashley Bell as clerk of council for the city of Ashtabula, Ohio, for a 5-year period commencing on January 8th, 2024, and authorizing a written contract of employment.
Thank you. You got us easy tonight compared to what you're used to.
I know.
Okay. Is it council's desire to handle these items in consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. DeGiacomo, second by Ms. Holman. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will do so by a 7-0 vote. Is there a motion to waive the reading of all this legislation in its entirety?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. DeGiacomo, second by Mrs. Mills. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will waive the reading by a 7-0 vote. Can I have a motion to waive the charter requirements of 2 readings of the legislation?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Holman?
Yes.
Motion by Ms. Holman, second by Mr. Simeon. Is there any discussion? Would you please call the roll?
Mrs. DeGiacomo,
Yes.
Mrs. Foglio,
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero,
Yes.
Mr. Simeon,
Yes.
Mr. Roskovich,
Yes.
Ms. Holman,
Yes.
Mrs. Mills.
Yes.
We will waive the charter requirements by a 7-0 vote. We will now vote on passage of these items of legislation. Would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Foglio,
Yes.
Mr. Guerrero,
Yes.
Mr. Simeon,
Yes.
Mr. Roskovich,
Yes.
Ms. Holman,
Yes.
Mrs. Mills,
Yes.
Mrs. DeGiacomo.
Yes.
All items of legislation have passed by a 7-0 vote. So welcome, Ms. Bell.
Should we pull her up here and put her on the spot?
Yeah. Introduce her.
Yeah.
You should introduce her, yes,
I think
introduce her.
people need to meet her.
Oh, on the TV, you mean?
Yes.
Not TV ready.
Yes, you are.
You're used to it.
Yes, you are. Hello, everyone.
This is Ms. Bell, our new clerk, new council clerk. And you're in Ashtabula.
Saybrook,
Saybrook.
yes. I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, very good. Well, welcome.
For you.
Is there any unfinished business? Under new business, I would like a voice vote to reappoint Roberta Madar Pruitt to the Civil Service Commission with the term to expire in May of 2029. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? She has been reappointed. And also, if I could have a voice vote to reappoint Sally Bradley to the same Civil Service Commission to expire, her term to expire March of 2029. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? She has been reappointed by a 7-0 vote. That's from the manager, works with the Civil Service Commission. And are we still looking for a, okay, so, again, we need, what do we need, a lawyer or someone who was,
Somebody familiar with the workings of a civil service commission. It would be helpful if it was someone that had a legal background or served in the police or fire department.
yeah. So we've been looking for a while and we really need some help. So if you're out there and you have to be a city resident,
That's correct.
so that's what I think. So if you are,
So basically, they administer the test, is that what they do?
So we'd be looking to replace the chair right now. The chair currently is asking about retirement, basically. So yes, they organize the meetings, which don't happen often. And then yes, it's proctoring the tests, the written tests. So and usually that's just setting up the library and then handing out the tests and logging everybody in. We take all the applications and everything through the offices here, announcements of the test, and then if there should be any kind of disputes with the test, the civil service does hear those disputes, and kind of just oversees the whole civil service.
And that civil service test, that's just like a garden variety?
We use a company that puts the test together for us, both for police and fire. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty standard test, yeah.
Because I do have people ask me that, like, what's on the civil service, and I've never seen one, so I don't, are they industry specific? Like, is the police one different than
Yes.
the firefighter one? or-
Yes, they are. They are different.
any other questions? This is a issue that's facing communities all over Ohio, the shortage of policemen and to some extent firemen also, but I know this is an issue, so it'd be nice if we can get a new commissioner and make sure that we're on top of stuff and keeping things going, because the policeman shortage is a real thing.
So, and I think we do have to have an entrance test for the police department next year, but I think that's the only thing scheduled. We've just done promotionals for both police and fire. Promotionals are a lot more in-depth and a lot more work, but this would be a good year to get, if somebody's interested, to get their feet wet in it.
Thank you.
So for those tests, do they have, I know, like, if you were to become a CPA, they have tests that kind of prepare you. Do they have those that prepare people for the civil service test?
There are study guides that they can get, that people can get before they take a civil service test, yes.
Probably at our library, huh?
I don't know that. Usually it's company specific. So,
Actually, I just Googled it. So, free civil service exam practice tests are available.
And can anybody take this test, or do you have to have?
You have to meet certain minimum qualifications, but typically, yes, it's just about anybody that can. So whether or not you are OPATA certified in the police department, you know, we had younger people that actually you have to be a certain age to take it, but if you don't have your OPATA certification, you can still take the test. And then obviously before you get hired, you have to have all the minimum requirements to be hired. Fire department, I don't know what the list of criteria is for that, but because we have EMS and EMT involved with our fire department, I think we ask for some of those certifications before the tests are taken.
So if I want to go take the fire test, how long would that be good for? So having no qualifications to be a firefighter, I'd have to get them after I found out what my score was.
Right.
How long is that test result good for?
So the certified lists are good for 1 year, and they can be extended for an additional year.
So that doesn't give you very much time to get the qualifications.
No. Typically, people that don't have any start to this don't take the test. So there certainly has to be some
I
interest
mean, that
in
cuts
already.
a lot of people out of the
Yeah.
equation. I mean, if there's such a shortage, I mean, is that like an Ohio thing, or is that a city thing, or?
No, most of it is an Ohio thing. I mean, you have to be, you know, for police department, you have to be 21 years of age to be a police officer. You have to have OPATA certification to be a police officer. For us, because we do run EMS, you do have to have some EMS training and certifications for that. So that portion of it is, you know, we're not just a fire department. It's because we also run EMS.
I just,
Yeah.
I would be very reluctant to go get training when you have to take a test to get hired. Because what if you don't score well on the test? You're not going to get hired.
Well,
Yeah.
You know,
you have to typically take this test no matter where you're
Well,
going
I
to be a
understand
police or
that, but
fire
I'm
department.
just saying,
Yeah.
if you were able to take the test and say, oh, well, I scored whatever you need to score to actually qualify to get hired, and then maybe I want to go get the.
Well, the good news is
get
you can do it either every year or every 2 years. More of an issue for us is the salaries that we pay comparative to other areas. If you've seen any of the recruiting that's been going on in other areas for police and fire, there's signing bonuses, there's salaries are way up there for this. I mean, when I started here, we used to have 25 people sit for the fire exam. I think the last exam we had, I think we had 8, and similar numbers with the police department.
That's what I noticed. They had a news story about Elyria on TV, how they were raising their pay for their police department. They haven't had a fully staffed police department, I think they said for like 10 or 12 years or something. They want 90. They need 90, and they're stuck like in the 70s, and they've been up as the low 80s, but so they've had to raise and stuff. But yeah, but if you go to the training, that will probably help you, you know, to do better on the test. You know, maybe I don't know how that all works, but yeah. So okay, all right. So we have those reappointed to the commission. All right. So I think that concludes our work part of the agenda. Does anybody have something tell us something we don't know?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Oh, did you have a question first, Ms. Holman?
I did.
Regarding matter, okay, thank you. Mrs. Mills,
Just going
can
to
you
back
wait
up
1
a
minute?
little bit. This is pretty much for Mr. Manager.
Yeah.
Considering that the health department is just relocated, and we will be relocating soon, and looks like the DG Market is coming along nicely. Has there been an assessment yet for traffic? Can we anticipate any new lights or pattern flows or?
We shouldn't need that in that area. when you think
Because
about
they'll be
it,
entering from both sides of the market, is that right?
Park and Main?
yes, I think there is an entrance on both sides for that. When you look back at the amount of businesses and traffic that used to be there, so you had the Garfield's restaurant, and then there was also a small grocery store that then became it was Slappy's, the liquor store that was there as well. You had the auto parts store that was in there, so the plaza had several different stores as well. So I don't anticipate any new or increased traffic because of it that already comes through there. One of the reports that we had a couple years back when ODOT did a traffic study, the intersection of Main Avenue and Route 20, just west of the bridge, that little intersection there, that sees about 11 to 12,000 cars a day that come
Yes,
through there.
it does.
So I don't see it getting any more congested through there. We'll keep an eye on it and see if things happen, but I don't see a big need for more traffic lights or to reroute there.
Mr.
But we'll watch it. Yeah.
Mr. President, that light down at the end of the street is the most confusing light. I think everybody sits there and, are you gonna go, am I gonna go? Even though the light says go, I think everybody's just so confused at that light.
Are-
Right,
Park
but by
Avenue, Park 20. and-
the flashing light down at the end of Main, is that what you're
Oh,
talking
Main
about?
and Lake?
Yes.
The
it's
one at
most-
Main and Lake? Yeah.
Yeah, red on one side and yellow on the other side. That's the most confusing light. Everybody.
Well, it's again to try to promote traffic flowing through it. So Main Avenue is a go heading north.
Oh, I know that, I know.
Lake Avenue is a go.
But you're afraid
Yeah.
that car's not
Yeah,
gonna.
exactly, yes.
Yep, and this one over here is the
Southbound has a
same
stop
thing.
sign.
Yep,
Southbound has a stop sign,
We might
yes.
have to look at that.
yeah, and this one's the same, yeah. That's
The issue with putting a light there is you would congest Route 20.
Right, you're right.
That's the problem. If you look at the patterns of how Route 20 is and Park Avenue.
There was a stoplight there at one time, wasn't there?
I don't, there used to be a lot of stoplights in town.
yeah,
I know on 9th Street, there was like Ohio Avenue, Union Avenue, there was stoplights all over that have gone by the wayside. So I can't remember that.
Confusing down there, it's confusing over here.
Okay. Right. Now, Mrs. Mills, you have something to share with us
Oh,
this evening?
Well, since it's a new year, so I've been driving around checking out roads and whatnot, and it seems like you could see all the trash now because the leaves are off the trees or whatever, so it's that time of year again, working on the city cleanup. So that is going to be Saturday, April 20th. So we're starting to gear up meetings to organize this month. So this month will be our first meeting, and we'll work with the clerk to start. Everybody that was a previous group, that we've got your email, of course, we will welcome you back again. And we're working on establishing some new groups. So every year we're trying to recruit some more. So if it's something that you have a group, you've wanted to participate, you can get a hold of Mrs. DiGiacomo or myself or through the clerk. And that is Saturday, April 20th. And we also have the RAM USA the weekend before, April 13th and 14th, which is free medical and dental and vision at Lakeside High School. So spread the word on that. And it's also the eclipse in April. There's a lot in April.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, I know at one time the park committee, maybe when the park committee had talked about doing something for April 8th. Has that ever gone anywhere?
No, the former president of the group had that idea.
Okay.
She left on.
Oh, okay.
And moved on to a different organization.
All right,
Asked if she could still do it. We said, have at it.
yeah. And
Haven't heard a thing.
nothing came of it, so we're on our own to watch the eclipse.
Mr. President, at this time, there's a countywide conference call, basically, that's been ongoing every month, set up by the county EMA, just to talk about different things with this. And we do have participation from the Ohio State Highway Patrol, from ODOT, and then from all of the political subdivisions in the county, kind of anticipating activity around this and all the different things that can happen. One of the things that we are going to be working on, I'll be working with the fire chief and police chief on this, is just identifying areas in the city where we believe people should congregate for this. So those would be locations like Caden Park, Smith Field, Walnut Beach, I'm sure is going to have a lot of people. Talking with the school district whether or not the campus would be a site for people to congregate to watch this. So rather than everybody kind of on their own, the county is trying to put together a map of different locations where people will be permitted to hang out for the 3 minutes of total eclipse that there is, on, I'm sure, which will be a overcast, rainy April 8th day.
April 9th, yeah.
However, you know, I've had my doubts about this kind of thing when I first heard about it. However, doing more research into it, you know, this path of totality is a very narrow path, and believe it or not, people flock from everywhere to get into this path of totality. We've had some of our staff members that have gone to other areas when this has happened before. Not a total eclipse like this, but certain similar natures. So you know, it is a big deal. We are hearing that the lodging is already booking up, and bed and breakfasts are booking up already for that weekend. So we're gonna. It's anticipated the county population could double during that week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And isn't, schools are closed that day, I believe.
Yes, they are. I think
But
that's
it's
a
at
little- that's a
nighttime,
little
right?
overkill. No, it's during
Oh,
the day.
it's during
No,
the
it's
day.
during the
Oh, that's,
day.
yeah, 3 o'clock, yeah, that's right.
It's around
yeah.
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to be closed. No.
Okay. Huh. Well, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, so it'll be exciting.
Yeah. Okay, anything else, Mrs. Mills? Anybody else have anything? Or tell us something we don't know? I just want to say, I was walking down, that looks like the new Bridge Street Tavern will be opening pretty soon. It looks nice inside. It's a nice looking, they put some good work into it, new flooring and lighting, and so let's hope that opening in time for the summer or the spring, and that looks pretty nice in there. I see that the interest rates are going down, so hopefully some of these projects that are have been delayed or have been waiting for better finances will start to come around, start happening again in Ashtabula. So let's hope. Okay, and does anybody else have anything else? Okay, now our next meeting is also going to be on a Tuesday, January 18th, 16th. Okay, January 16th. Martin Luther King Day will be the 15th, and so we will meet on January 16th here in our, here.
We'll probably still be here by then.
Still be here? And that's it.
I'm shooting for the first meeting in February, but we got a lot
Oh,
to
that'd be
organize
good.
before we can get down there, so.
All right. So January 16th, we'll meet here at 6:30. Okay. Anyone in the audience who would like to address council at this time? Seeing no one? What? Oh, seeing no one, I will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you. That was one of our quicker meetings, huh?